And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is a Hump Day Wednesday. Happy February 2023 out there here from all of us here at the Backstage Pass. Kirsty Krause and, of course, CJ Garton and our good friend Merlene Cox over at Full Circle Moments out there, one of our partners in concert promotions out there. And presented by, I tell you what, I couldn't do the show without these fine folks. I'm having a glass of it right now. Gentle Ben Spirits, the bourbon, the vodka, the gin. Guys are removing all the impurities. Are changing the way drinks are made out there when it comes to the Prosecco technology, and it is fantastic. All the good stuff is there, and bad stuff is gone. It's smooth. It's just very much a great glass. And I was telling Kensie before we started the show, this has become my new drink here: the bourbon, the vodka, the gin. Get it online, gentleben.com. And if you're going to a Astros or Rockets game this year too, you can check it out there. They got their own lounge inside the Toyota Center there with the Rockets. So be sure and check out gentleben.com. Total Wine and Specs, too, in the Houston market down there, too. Gentle Ben, sit back and raise a glass with your good friends out there. Gentle Ben out there in the Prosecco technology of their gin, their vodka, and their bourbon. Makes for great cocktails. And like I said, it's great out there. Also, my good friends, we love to drink here on this podcast, Bangtail Whiskey. If you love whiskey, check them out. 90 proof out there, bangtail.com, easyliquor.com. You can get your order put in there, too, as well. My good friend Brandon Bang with Nashville Recording Artists, too, as well. And our friends at Honky, Tonk, Texas. Pleased to welcome in my good friend of the show. And I tell you what, we do a lot of work, I guess, even behind the scenes, too. Kensie Coppin to the broadcast here. Kensie, how you doing?
Good. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah, cheers. Because, like I said, you're drinking yours. I'm drinking mine. In the red Solo Cup, it is that happy hour almost today for everybody. I guess 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, I tell you what, hey, to start out, happy 2023 for you, first of all. And, it's going to be a big year for you. Talk about just some of the shows you've played out of the gate so far. And I know you got a couple of tunes you're going to perform for us today, but I know there's new music on the horizon. Tell folks about that, too.
So, over the last couple years, like you said, I've been working on a lot of new music. I've got a full album, plus about 3 other singles that I'm going to be releasing. And I've really been kind of holding off on that because I wanted to have a little bit of gusto behind it, some money behind those songs. But at this point, with COVID and everything, at this point, I'm like, I might as well just put it on out there because it's been too long. But as far as my gigs and stuff, so the last couple years I've gone a lot outside of Nashville because I am living in Nashville now. Haven't gotten back to Texas too much, which I want to really bad. But I've done a lot of Florida, the northern states, West Virginia, Iowa, Nebraska. I did Arizona recently. I've done Louisiana, all those good places. And I've done a lot of songwriters retreats. So I love the songwriting community up here. It's very tight knit and it's just so much fun to co-write. So I've been very honored to be asked to go on all these writers retreats, and it's a blast because you get to travel, you get to hang out with your songwriter buddies that you don't get to see in town, and write some great tunes. So I'm getting my catalog beefed up right now.
Well, and you did. And speaking of beefed up, I love that song that you did back in 19. I know we've talked even before then, Down in Flames, which was really one of my favorite songs that you put out. I know you guys were on a little bit of a Texas run back then, even before the pandemic hit with that particular single. Just remind folks out there how big that was for your career and how you acquired that song. That's a great tune out there, Down in Flames.
Thank you so much. So I wrote that one with my buddy, Mark Addison Chandler. And really one of the only love songs I've written. But releasing that was great because it kind of shows more my softer side. I know I like to write a lot of upbeat in your face stuff. So that was good to kind of change the game a little bit on my end, I guess.
I love that one too.
I really love that one.
It's a great song too, and I can't wait to see you play it live one day too. If I'm back there in Nashville, or you get down to Texas too, and then you guys had shifted over to another great song you put out there called "It's the Rain," which was a single that came out too, I believe, back in 2019 as well too. Tell folks about that one, a little bit of the backstory.
So I wrote that one with Kim Penns, Tommy Collier, and Davis Corley, and it was actually right after. I think it was right after No, that was maybe another song, but it was around the time that Kylie Ray Harris passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And we just wanted to write something that was, uplifting, that said, you're going to see the storms, you're going to see the bad stuff, but it's the rain that makes you grow. You can't grow a garden without the rain. So,
Mm-hmm.
just kind of a good reminder for people that the tough times are what get you to the good times. You got to go through the bad to get to the good. And I'm kind of a proof of that, especially
Mm-hmm.
this year. So.
Yeah, and I tell you, it's just good to see the shows. Like if you were talking about opening back up, I know you've been busy there playing a lot of the places there in Nashville too. What's it been like too to make that shift from Texas to Nashville, kind of full time now, knowing that is, I mean, Music City. You've got a lot of the great. You mentioned the co-writers, and of course, different camps to work with. The collaboration becomes an important part in the industry. Talk a little bit about that.
So it was a big shift from, playing live all the time and doing the band stuff and um, doing, all the Texas stuff. I really miss Texas a lot, but the shift really was the business side of things. Texas and Nashville, they both do things similarly, but it's just I guess it's a bigger game here, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest.
Yeah.
There's a lot more competition. Um, and what I had to really get used to was playing for free all the time.
Mm-hmm.
In Texas, you get pretty good paying gigs, and you can live off that. So it was a change, and kind of hard to get used to having to have a part-time job and finding gigs outside of Nashville to get paid. But the exposure and meeting people to collaborate with is a lot easier here because it's so small. It's like a big small town. So
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed both scenes. I've enjoyed seeing the differences in the business, and
Mm-hmm.
also taking the tools that I learned from Texas here, especially with like building a band. Um, it's a little bit easier here because you've got the musicians all in a really close vicinity, and they kind of hop around from artist to artist, and they're not all of them are on the road all the time. So that's been a big change as well. But really, my favorite part is the collaboration, the co-writing.
Yeah, and I can't wait for, like I said, new music to come out too, and definitely put out like I said, those singles, and of course it leads to some other projects out there. So I know 2023 is going to be a big year for you too as well. I'm gonna go all the way to England now because my good friend David tunes in from England all the
All
way
right.
across the pond there too, which is great to have him part of the show here too. Cumbria in England, to be exact. Which artists have inspired your music, and of course any instruments that you play? I like that.
Well, hello, David. Thank you for tuning in. So, my biggest influence growing up was George Strait, but also as far as singing goes, George Strait, Martina McBride, Reba, Leanne Rhymes, Leanne Womack, Jody Messina, Jamie O'Neill, uh, Carolyn Dawn Johnson, like a lot of the female artists from the 90s. But, like older, Keith Whitley, Patsy Cline, Tammy
Mm-hmm.
Wynette, George Jones are some of my favorites. And then the newer artists, or newer, I guess, Miranda Lambert, I love her attitude. I love that she brings kind of a kick in the teeth with
Mm-hmm.
her songs, as well as a lot of the Texas artists have
Yeah.
inspired me a lot. Parker McCollum, Coetzel, Randall King, they're also amazing. So I've got a wide range of influences dating back from the 70s. So, but I like every type of music. So I've gotten a lot of influence from like the Bee Gees and Phil Collins and Bryan Adams. Love him.
Mm-hmm.
So I also play guitar. Been playing since I was 14 and really self-taught. I used to play piano, and one of my goals is to get back to that, take some lessons, and also take some guitar lessons.
Well, I tell you, I still got to talk a lot about that EP that came out there a couple of years ago. While You Still Need Me was a song on there that I love so much. Lie to Me, and also Letting Go there from Kensie Coppin, and of course the new music just around the corner here for 2023. We're going to come back here in a little bit. She's going to perform a couple of songs for us today. She'll grab that guitar and tune that thing up and come back here after the break. CJ Garton will join us here on the Backstage Pass, again, presented by our friends over at Gentle Ben Spirits, our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, and, of course, Honky Tonk, Texas. Josh Ward out there, another great Texas artist coming out this Friday night. Josh Ward, February the 4th, of course, coming up this week there. Josh Ward at honkytonktexas.us, and, of course, drink, dance, and dine out there. And that's just a great place if people haven't been to Silsbee, Texas, a little pocket, little small town down here. Our good friend Derek Billingsley owns it out there, does a great job out there. And they'll pack the house. And you know Kensie knows who Josh Ward is. They'll pack the house.
I love him so much.
He will pack the house.
Opry debut, didn't he?
He did. He sure as hell did. He did,
Yeah.
girl. He did make that Opry debut, of course. And, of course, coming up here, we'll have CJ join us here on the Backstage Pass. The countdown to CRS is on. We'll be at Country Radio Seminar there March 13 to 15 in Nashville, Tennessee at the Omni Hotel, interviewing Nashville's best and brightest. You never know, Kensie may stop by the booth there, of course, presented by our friends at Bangtail Whiskey, Gentle Ben Spirits, and, of course, over there at Honky Tonk, Texas. Coming back with CJ, Kensie, and a lot more here. Keep it tuned right here to the Backstage Pass. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. We'll get to as many as we can. More with Kensie Coppin here. It is the Backstage Pass. Hang tight.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. That is the newest sponsor here on the Backstage Pass. Gentle Ben Spirits, the vodka, the gin, the bourbon. I've been drinking it for about a week now, too, as well. I got to bring CJ some there, of course, at CRS in Nashville, Tennessee, too. Great cocktails. They remove all the impurities and all the nasty stuff from it. Goes down smooth. GentleBen.com. You can get the vodka, the gin, and the bourbon there right now using the Persado technology, which is amazing. You kind of saw the video right there of what they do at the distillery in Alvin, Texas, a local company down here. Got a chance to meet Ricky Ford, Aggie graduate class of 1985 there. Back here with CJ Garton, Kensie Coppin here on the Backstage Pass. She's going to play one for us here, too. Again, presented by our friends over at Gentle Ben Spirits, Bangtail Whiskey, and our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. Kensie, it's all yours. Take it away.
All right. What's up, CJ?
What's up, darling? How we doing?
Doing great. So this one is one of the singles I'm going to be putting out. It's called A Woman Knows, and I wrote this with Jeff Sylvie and Bernie Nelson. Jeff Sylvie produced it, did a really great job. I'll let it speak for itself. Cheap perfume, high-heeled shoes, short skirt that you were flaunting. Girl, it's plain to see how you got as far as you got. You tell everyone that you're his friend, but I see through your disguise. No falsies or mascara can hide those lying eyes. A woman knows. just call it intuition. When the wolf starts howling at the door, she's got her ammunition. But you better turn and run before this hits the fan. 'Cause a woman knows, man, a woman knows when a woman wants her man. Through the smoke, make her glow, you weave your tangled web. Like a moth to a flame, try to get him in your bed. Lay your hand down his back, think it's all the game. I've got cards up my sleeve, I'll show you how it's played. 'Cause a woman knows before it storms, just call it intuition. When the wolf starts howling at the door, she's got her ammunition. But you better turn and run before this hits the fan. 'Cause a woman knows, man, a woman knows when a woman wants her man. So girl, you better get back, 'cause I've been known to make the devil look bad. Oh, woman knows before it storms, just call it intuition. When the wolf starts howling at the door, she's got her ammunition. But you better turn and run before this hits the fan. A woman knows, and a woman knows when a woman wants a man. Yeah, a woman knows, and a woman knows when a woman wants her man.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, right there had a little dark feel to it right there. Back here on the Backstage Pass, well done there, Kensie Coppin. CJ Garden back here, joining us here on this Wednesday here, Hump Day. As we count down to CRS, we'll be there. Myself, CJ, Kirsty Krause, Merlene Cox. It'll be March 13 to 15. CRS in Nashville. And CJ and I get to go back there and have a good old time. Year number 2, brother. This is crazy. Like, time is flying. And you get to come back to your city and have a good time, right?
Baby.
I love it. Love it. Like I said, we have a good time up there too. And hopefully Kensie will drop by at the Omni Hotel. Broadcasting live there at the sportsguyspodcast.com. Of course, on the YouTube channel and Facebook Live and all that good stuff too. Presented by our friends over at Gentle Ben Spirits, Bangtail Whiskey, and of course our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. Josh Ward there this Saturday night too as well. Looking forward to a big show out there too as well. And definitely we'll have another show to talk about coming up February 18th with some amazing acts out there too. We'll be a part of here on the Backstage Pass. I love the way you write. You know, we talked about this with Kensie a little bit before you joined us, CJ. I talked a lot about the first EP and how so many great songs off of there too. Letting Go really set the tone for that record. Lie to Me, and then of course one that stuck out, Why You Still Need Me. Talk about just some of the best memories, Kensie, you remember from that first EP, and I still some of your most requested songs today from your fans when you play live.
Yeah, so Letting Go and Lie to Me, I wrote when I was pretty young. Letting Go, I wrote when I was like 16 when I wrote that one. And I just, the first EP, I wanted to put out some stuff that I felt like I wouldn't record later on once I got a bunch of more songs under my belt. I wanted to kind of showcase my teenage writing or my young writing. Lie to Me, I wrote when I was 19, and that, both of those came from a very real place. Why You Still Need Me was really cool to do with William Clark Green. One is still one of my favorites. And yeah, so it was good to just put out some stuff that I honestly wasn't super confident in.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel like it was my best writing, but the response I got was really refreshing. You know, just to have people resonate with that stuff that I felt like was kind of trash, but I'm glad people liked it. So I'm excited to share what I've been working on, because I've worked really hard since I moved to Nashville to become a better writer. And like I said, the co-writing is so much fun. I love writing by myself, like Lie to Me and Letting Go wrote by myself. And you know, I really enjoy co-writing, but I've also gotten back into writing by myself this year, which is refreshing as well.
Yeah, there's a situation where I think we all, as you know, as pro writers or whatever you call it, even go back to the songs that you were writing. If you have talent to write a song, if you have something that reaches you emotionally, it doesn't matter what Nashville says or
Right.
Texas says or New York, California. It's what people say. It's how they connect
Right.
to this. Because we first write songs for ourselves. I mean, I don't know if you're similar to me, but I wasn't writing to please someone else other than how I was feeling emotionally at the time, and writing a song that touched me or helped me through something.
Right.
Or it doesn't matter. 16 years old. If you're writing something that's real, people are going to feel it, and
Exactly.
you're going to have some gems in there because you're still learning your craft. But as you progress, you can hone that, and you can become more driven and kind of have, I guess, blinders on where things are less confusing. And you can focus on what you're trying to say and relay that. So I'm excited to see where you're at, because I've listened to a couple of things and I really like it a lot. I listened to Johnny other songs, and I like the progression.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I feel like I'm getting back to that little girl that started writing in the first place, and just like you said, which was coming just straight from the heart. And some of the stuff I wrote when I was young was, you know, kind of putting myself in other people's shoes. I hadn't gotten there yet. I hadn't been cheated on. I hadn't drank, you know, all that stuff. But
We're
it's
drinking
nice
today.
to get
We're
back to that. I'm drinking now, damn it.
Hey, cheers. Everybody's got.
There you go.
I'm of age.
If I can figure out how this damn camera works, one
Cheers.
and the other one goes in. So.
I love it. I also love that y'all are working with Kirsty Krause. I love her so much. She's a great woman.
She's a ray of sunshine. She's got a very happy attitude. I don't think I ever see that girl upset. She's fooling everybody, because she's a happy person, and I like to see it.
Yeah, me too. I love it. We had a really good time last year. Went to the Key West Chick Fest. My friend Erica Sunshine Lee puts it on. Did it this year too, but last year she was there, and you know, we just had some very real conversations about being vulnerable on stage, and you know, feeling like the crowd can read that, you know. And it was a very real open conversation. And since then, she's like, thank you. I take, you know, that advice with me every time I play, and I just love her to death. So I'm glad that y'all are working together.
That's cool.
She's a trooper, no doubt. We love her. And
we have like an AA for musicians, recovery. We all just sit and talk about music.
Seriously,
well, hey, if you're gonna be at the country radio seminar, if you're gonna be in town, Nashville, for that week in March, you just swing on by that booth, because we'll be there. Like I said, we'll be right there in our little cubby hole, whatever the dimensions are, too, right there. And you swing by, we'll be having a good time, and we'll get you on for play something for us, and of course go down to Bar Lines, hang out there, and then I know CJ and I are gonna find a hell of a restaurant out there for that week, right? I know that.
Oh, Old Hickory Steakhouse is still my favorite.
I've never had that.
That and Sperry's. I love Sperry's.
Sperry's is my favorite. I mean, you can't go wrong.
Go and we go literally for the appetizers and the dessert.
Oh man! And if you can do the whole shebang, like like cocktails, appetizers, bottle of wine, steak, and then dessert, and then a dessert drink.
Yeah,
you gotta do it.
Yeah,
I mean, just splurge.
He took me there last year, and actually for the first time I had the Bananas Foster, and I was
it is so
holy.
All right,
so good.
I grew up on a cattle ranch in Oklahoma, and so we had to make up clever things just to entertain ourselves. So my grandma made snow ice cream. And we'd go make snow ice cream, and I feel like Bananas Foster is like a hot snow ice cream kind of.
Totally.
Yeah, I took one bite of that, Kensie, and it was like
done. He was
I was
done.
done.
It melts in your mouth. It was so good.
He was sitting like across from me. I'm sitting on this side, and then next to me, my buddy Brandon Bang with Bangtail Whiskey. We're sitting there just having a good time and
I love Brandon.
shooting the shit, having it fun. And I took one bite of that. I just went like,
Yeah,
no napkin, just wave the towel. Like, that's it. It's the best dessert I've ever had.
he gave me a very look. I felt nervous. I felt up the dessert, but he's staring at me, and I'm going,
Yeah. Oh,
like, it's not me, it's the dessert. Don't look
I
at me.
swear, man. I swear, bro.
Well, and the way they came out, and you know this because y'all been there, and of course I was the first experience there last year, so of course you're going to talk about it. And then the way they came out and made it, mixed it, put it together, had fun with it, and just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was a hell of an experience there. That's what it's all about.
I mean, I like playing with fire anyway, so it worked.
Man, I want to learn how to do it. So I dated someone that worked there for a while, so I got to go in and eat for free all the time, which
Nice.
was amazing. So I got to try everything on the menu, but the servers I got to know, and I would always watch them, and I wanted so bad to be like, can you just teach me? I gotta know how to make bananas Foster.
My wife.
I want to burn some rum.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I want to burn some rum.
Yeah, well, I mean, I got matches. This shit can happen.
So we can try it out.
We got some. What's cool about this year is we got some challenges this year, like some people bringing food and some other kind of cool things happening with some taste test stuff. So I don't know. They'll let us play with fire in a hotel. I'm all with making a bananas Foster, at least attempting to, having one of you guys attempt to hear live on the show when we go Facebook Live. That'll be great, you know.
Hell
so
yeah.
We don't ask permission. We just ask forgiveness. So
Yeah, I would be the person to catch my hair on fire. To be honest.
no, don't do that.
Yeah, I would let
I'll
CJ
just
make
taste
it before I am.
Hair smoke.
'Cause
It's a lot of fire, but not hair.
well,
Yeah, nobody will want anything after that.
Well, you know, you've got to come by and hang out with us for that week we're there. You've got to find
Yes,
time.
absolutely. I've got it on my calendar that you're here.
Okay.
And I think I missed CRS last year, so
Mhm.
I'd love to come out and do some stuff. If nothing else, just come and sit down, shoot the shit with y'all.
Why not? That'd be the best part of it right there. We may make a bananas Foster. I'll let CJ make it live on the air. Hope it'll set off the smoke alarms in the hotel playing with a match, but I think he can get it the first time with whatever. And maybe we could use some of this Gentle Ben spirits I'm talking about, vodka, gin, bourbon. I don't know how it tastes. Great with rum, but it may taste good. Anything goes good with a good glass of bourbon out there. The Persado technology, they're changing the landscape of the way alcohol is made out there. Distilleries in Alvin, Texas. Make sure you guys check them out, gentleben.com. And, of course, the vodka, gin, the bourbon I'm drinking right now is fantastic. And Ricky Ford, class of 85, the Texas A&M Aggies, they do a great job over there. Total Wine and Specs in Houston. And, of course, if you're going to a Rockets game or an Astros game, you can find it there in select locations and select aisles. And, of course, things out there, too. For Gentle Ben Spirits, a good friend, Brandon Bang, over at Bangtail Whiskey. Love that, easyliquor.com. I get a bottle probably every, 2 or 3 months sent to my door, which is great out there, but it does last me a good 8 months to a year, depending on how much you drink. Bangtail.com is another good place to check out what's going on there with him and a lot of the taste test out there. And our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas as well. One more time out. We'll come back more with Kensie Coppin here on the Backstage Pass. She's got one more tune for us. We'll come back with rapid fire. I'm also going to ask about, somebody asked me on a text message. Okay, we'll ask about Runaway. We'll do that and have a good time there, of course. And here, more with CJ Garten, of course, and of course, Kensie Coppin, our featured artist of the day here on a Hump Day Wednesday here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight. We're coming right back after a word from our sponsor. Stay tuned.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. That's it right there. The Prosecco technology put a lot of into it, removing those impurities from the drink, creating a refined experience there. Gentle Ben Spirits. So sit back with a group of friends, raise a glass of Gentle Ben. You will not regret it. It goes down smooth. I was talking to Ricky yesterday on the show, or Monday of this week. He came by and explained the whole process, him better than me, but it is amazing and definitely a true refined experience. The Rockets, the Astros at the ballparks over there, the Toyota Center, Minute Maid Park, and, of course, Select Total Wines. And, of course, Specs in the Houston market out there, a local company out of Alvin, Texas. Make sure you guys go check them out, gentleben.com, one of our proud sponsors here. Also, Bangtail Whiskey and our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. Back here with CJ Garten, Kensie Coppin, our featured artist of the day here on the Backstage Pass. And, my friend, it is all yours. Can't wait to hear what's next.
You hear?
She cannot hear us. Uh-oh. I guess technical issues. Hey, try logging out and logging back in. I would tell her about that, too. So, hopefully – if she logs back out, logs back in, we'll have to do that real quick. I tell you what, we'll take a quick timeout, and I will connect with Kensie once again. Timeout here, more from our friends at Gentle Ben Spirits. Hang tight. Back here on the show, she can hear us now, probably a little bit.
I mean, it would happen to me. It would happen.
I took over the center screen.
If anything could go wrong, I'm involved.
I love that too. Well, technical difficulties.
That for me and let get along, and I can prove it for years.
So I wanted to say back up one of y'all's sponsors. I got to try Bangtail Whiskey recently. I got to try it at the local. So if y'all are in the Nashville area, go to the local. I think they carry it there. So
yeah, dude over there.
Also, all your plugs. This is my little niece, Reagan.
Hey, how you doing?
On in here. I knew she was looking in the corner at somebody. Are you gonna be a country singer too?
She might. She's already writing songs.
Well,
what? How old is she?
What?
How old is she?
She's 6.
And writing songs. That's impressive. That's amazing.
Encourage and inspired.
What's her name?
Reagan.
Reagan, you may follow in your footsteps, Miss Coppin. You never know.
Reagan, do you know that I wrote my first song at 6 years old?
Wow. He wrote his first song at your age.
Yeah.
He's making up songs all the time.
My grandpa and grandma was getting annoyed at me, so they told me to go write a song.
That's good advice.
And I literally disappeared for 10 minutes. I came back. I'm like, I'm done. They're like, you ain't done. And then I sang it to them. They said, you didn't write that. I said, yes, I did. And they said, go. Like, all right.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to you. It is going to be all yours, Kensie, performing at number 2 for us here on the show. Of course, new music, I know, expected out here in 2023. Can't wait for that, too. And definitely just cannot wait to see her live one day in Nashville, hanging out at CRS 2023. March 13 to 15 at the Omni Hotel. Yours truly, CJ Garten, Kirsty Krause, presented by our friends at Gentle Ben Spirits, Bangtail Whiskey, and, of course, our friends at Honky Tonk, Texas. Josh Ward out there this Saturday night, coming up. Big show out there. Sold out almost. All the tickets are gone, so make sure check them out, honkytonktexas.us. Kensie, it's all yours.
All right. Well, I was kind of going back and forth between a couple songs. But I'm going to play y'all a tune that is going to be released called Raising Hell. I wrote this one with my sister, Kensie Coppin, Barrett Baber, and Blue Foley. Take me down to the water, wash my soul in a wishing well. I'm the preacher man's daughter, falling for a boy who loves to raise hell. When I was a baby, my mama started praying I'd find me a good man, one like daddy. Walks in the light with a Bible in his hands. But I've got eyes for a boy who loves raising all kind of cane. Mama, keep praying the good Lord send me a man like Jesse James. Take me down to the water, wash my soul in a wishing well. I'm the preacher man's daughter. Daddy's been preaching about temptation, sinning and how to repent. With all the things me and my baby doing, I don't know where to begin. Church folks singing, headed to the altar, down on the knees to pray. Need my crooked smile, devil, I'd say you're heading out the other way. Take me down to the water, wash my soul in a wishing well. I'm the preacher man's daughter, falling for both loves to raise hell. You can take me down, you can wash my soul. You lay down. Here I go. Take me down to the water, wash my soul in a wishing well. I'm the preacher man's daughter, falling for boy loves to raise. Take me down to the water, wash my soul in a wishing well. I'm the preacher man's daughter. Falling for a boy who loves to raise hell.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Just like that whiskey, it's a smooth voice there from Kensie Coppin here on the Backstage Pass. Another great song there. You can kind of feel that one if you love just any style of music. It's a great crossover. Love country. Back here with CJ Garten on the Backstage Pass, the presenting sponsors of Country Radio Seminar 2023, March 13 to 15 at the Omni Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee. Our thanks go out to Bangtail Whiskey, our friends over at Gentle Ben Spirits. The vodka, the gin, the bourbon is fantastic. Check out gentleben.com. And, of course, Honky Tonk, Texas, sold-out show coming up this week. We'll be there Saturday night. Josh Ward ready to take the stage and do a little line step in Honky Tonk. He's a great, great Texas artist. Kensie knows all about Josh Ward making that Randall Opry debut last year, right?
You're making me miss Texas so badly. Talking about all these places and all these shows. I'm like, dang it.
It happens.
I feel like thank Slim Jim and stuff. Every time he runs through that spill, I think I need to thank
At least we got Buc-ee's now, you know.
That's it.
Yeah. What I love about it too, Kensie, is they pay me to go through that spill. That's the best part.
I love it.
That's the best part.
I need that job.
You can't go not spend $100.
I know. Especially if you go in the shopping section. Like I cannot. I steer clear.
I had read price in Texas just because of Buc-ee's.
Yeah.
offset spend when I go there because I go to get gas. The next thing you know, we spend $100 and probably per person. I mean, they're making.
You're like,
That's
I
easy to
need
do.
$200 per diem per day so I can go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, I need that jerky right there. I need
Yeah.
Bohemian. Are these some new gummies? Did y'all make these? These are delicious. I need some homemade fudge. I'm out of here. Oh wait, is that a barbecue sandwich?
Yep.
Right.
And a
All they
bag of
need
chips.
is liquor and CBD, and we'll be set.
I mean, what other convenience store has a mascot walking around taking pictures of everybody?
Right.
No, like,
What's wrong with that?
I love it.
Like, Disney.
hey, tell us about. I want to get to this one, and of course, a couple of questions rapid fire. I know you're busy schedule, and you got some things lined up too. We know we're going to have you back on the show at CRS there in Nashville for that. Tell us about Runaway, because I know when that came out, I believe that was 2019 as well for Runaway. That did some really, really cool things for your career.
Yes. So I wrote that one with D. Vincent Williams. He wrote Just Got Started Loving You and Moving On by Rascal Flatts. One of my favorite songwriters in town. And it was about 6 months into me living in Nashville. And being the rookie in Nashville and trying to make a name for yourself and get in the groups and stuff is really hard. You know, you've got to prove yourself. And I was alone. I didn't have my family here and my support system. So I was really feeling down on myself. And I went to the write that day with D and I said, I don't know what I want to write about. You know, he's like, well, how you feeling? And I, broke down, of course. And I was like, I just feel like I'm a runaway from home. And he was like, well, that's what we're writing, Runaway. So really proud of that one. I love to play that one live. And it really comes from the core of my soul. This business is very cutthroat and it's really hard. And so a lot of times, even when I'm just traveling to do shows out of town, I always feel like a runaway, so I'm glad that people love that one and that, again, that people resonate with it.
I did. I loved it a lot. Hey, tell me the best Christmas gift. What was under the tree this year for Kensie?
You know what? The best Christmas gift was seeing my niece light up on Christmas morning, because me and my sister went out and got her a few things, and Santa brought her a bunch of stuff, and it was just beautiful. I didn't really get many presents this year, but that was it. Like, it was nice to have family time with her and my sister and just see her light up. So
I love that.
Presents are spelled differently sometimes. The real gift.
Through a child's eyes, it's a beautiful thing.
No doubt. It is too. All right, let me do this. We'll do a couple of more here. Last show to binge watch. What was it?
Oh crap. Oh my gosh. You can't make fun of me. So one of my guilty pleasures is watching trash TV. It helps me turn my brain off. So I got sucked into this show called Floribama.
Okay.
And
yeah. I like it.
It's kind of or Floribama Shore. And it's kind of like Jersey Shore, but in the South.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God.
There's a lot more.
Shameless over here, though. I don't care. I got so sucked into that. I think it was last week. And I haven't been watching much TV these days, but that one really got me. There was one more recently. Yeah, I can't think of it. You got me.
Well, I tell you what, I'll suggest
Floribama Shore.
It's a good one. I'll suggest two for you that I got hooked on recently. HBO's Max, the Last of Us, which is the kind of the apocalyptic end of the world type zombie type thing, which is really good. There's only 3 episodes into it now because they put out one per week. And then the other one was if you liked Breaking Bad with Bryan Cranston, then he put out your one called Your Honor on Showtime, which was another good series. So just suggesting that to the listeners out there to kind of see what
and
they're
to me as well, because I need some shows
good
to
stuff.
turn my brain off to.
No, I would not put my 3-year-old goes to bed. I can't watch it till the curfew after hours. But it's a Your Honor, and of course called The Last of Us, which is the 2 actors that were, I believe, were in Game of Thrones there recently. That they did a great job there too. All right, we'll finish on this one here, and I can't wait to see you back in Nashville at CRS 2023. Last food craving, last beverage craving. What was it?
Last food craving was mac and cheese, because I've gotten back into the gym and I'm just craving carbs like nobody's business. Drink wine. I love wine. So any red wine, baby.
She's right there with it. So I got to get me a wine sponsor. We'll get a wine sponsor on here too. We got to.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love bourbon, but
well, hey, I'm drinking that Gentle Ben bourbon right there. She knows how to segue. See, she's good at this too. So like I said, we can't wait to see her in Nashville at CRS 2023. And of course,
I can't wait.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. CJ Garten, Kirsty Krause, yours truly, and of course our good friend Merlene Cox with Full Circle Moments LLC out there, concert promoter. We do from time to time. She does a lot of great concerts, and of course a lot of the great guests we've had on. Our thanks to Merlene out there too for helping us this year at CRS. Tomorrow, good friend Jake Bush, another great Texas artist. If you hadn't heard of Jake Bush, he's going to stop by here on the show Friday. You know him from American Idol. He was right there toward the end, I believe top 15 somewhere in there. Dan Marshall is going to stop by on Friday next week, a big show, February 7th. Dylan Carmichael right here on the Backstage Pass. I'm sure that CJ will jump on with me for Mr. Carmichael coming by. And, of course, a lot more coming up here as we segue into Country Radio Seminar presented by our friends over at Gentle Ben Spirits, Honky Tonk, Texas, and, of course, Bangtail Whiskey. Kensie, we appreciate the time as always and looking forward to connecting in Nashville. Best of luck moving forward with the music, and thanks so much for your time.
Brandon, CJ, thank you so much for having me on. Thank you for everyone tuning in. I can't wait to see y'all in Nashville. Let's talk some crap and drink some whiskey and play some songs. And thank you so much again for having me. And I'd love to come on anytime.
You got it. And CJ, I got to bring a deck of cards. So we're going to play cards at the table too, by the way.
There we go.
So,
I'd hope so. Your guilty pleasures. And we haven't been to one of our favorite places, Sushi Train. And we're about to get there with the family adventure. So I had to jump on with you guys before we go hit the train. Talking about
I'm with you on that too. Well, you took me for good sushi there last year too in Nashville too, and I really enjoyed that as well. So we got a lot of things to look forward to over the next few weeks. I believe it's like 5 weeks away now till we fly out there and begin our week coverage there. Interviewing Nashville's best and brightest, and all made possible by Bangtail Whiskey, our friends at Gentle Ben Spirits, and of course Honky Tonk, Texas. I talked to Derek today. Big sellout show this Saturday night. Josh Ward, of course, a big show we're going to be at February 18th. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag just because I'm in a good mood today. It's the Country Comeback Tour at Le Berge Hotel and Casino over there in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Shenandoah, Billy Dean, and Wade Hayes all in one night. The Country Comeback Tour, February 18th. And I wish CJ could be in Texas, Kensie too. We'd all go together, but I look forward to I was texting Marty the other day, Marty Rabin of Shenandoah. He says, brother, come on out, have a good time. So what can I say? It's a good time in Texas, right, CJ? Love it down here.
Dude, man.
Y'all are making me jealous. I can't take it anymore.
Hey, no.
Well, we're going to find a show to go out to in Nashville too. So
behind you. What's going on behind your wall there before we leave?
Oh, so we put up this. We got this to stage the house that my sister sold, and we thought it would be cool to make videos with. So
I love it. I'm gonna paisley nut, and it's got that whole vibe,
energy.
The old bandana.
We're all about positive vibes here on the show every day, no doubt. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Jake Bush on the show about 4 o'clock. And then American Idol, Dan Marshall will come on this week. He's got a lot of cool things to talk about after coming off the show. And actually, American Idol, another week or two, is actually going to start up another season coming up here too as well. So we'll be scouting out there. CJ, have eyes on all the talent that's auditioning there for the country music genre. And, of course, don't forget this Saturday night, Honky Tonk, Texas, Josh Ward out there. If you're in the area, go see Josh Ward. Thanks to our sponsors, Bangtail Whiskey, Honky Tonk, Texas, and, of course, Gentle Ben Spirits. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Jake Bush on the show. If you hadn't heard of him, stick around for some great Texas country coming up tomorrow here on the Backstage Pass. We'll see you soon. Have a terrific night.